Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Persona 4 Arena Part 37. Yeah, that sounds about right. In the previous video we did Mitzi storyline, and now we did unlock Elizabeth, but we're going to do Akihiko and Aigus's first. So let's go ahead and jump into the old Akihiko's. I don't remember how yours ended. I don't know, you're in the announcement room. Yeah, that's usually how they end. Is this the one?
We've come to take you.
No, that's a different one. Oh, we've already done.
The name Kirijo?
I was thinking of the one where Aigus is going to fight her, but that one's already happened, I think. One Labrys looks at me and yells in rage, but the other one recoils in horror.
I'll never go back there.
Crap, she ran off. Both chasing after her? What is this, some sort of comedy routine? The other one dashes after the first one. I immediately try and pursue them, but...
Hey, wait a second! Who are you?
The remaining girl in the green warm-up jacket stomps me. If I recall correctly, she was the female student introduced as a carnivore in that commercial.
I need to go after them. You're better off forgetting what you just saw.
Wait! You can't just...
She appears to be uninjured, and I can't lose time dealing with her. I ignore her and book it after Labrys. Your nose? It belongs to... Fine. And no fight yet, I guess.
Hold it right there, Buster!
Okay, maybe fight now. That voice. She caught up to me, though. I'm running at full sprint. She must be quite an exceptional athlete. And I can't drag her into this. This is my duty. Should I run even harder? That might cause me to redline my heart rate, and that would deaden my legs for any upcoming fights. Or should I just convince her to leave? Unfortunately, it seems that both of those options have been taken off the table now. I wrap my fist where there is nothingness. Resistance, another invisible wall. Looks like this is the enemy's way of buying time. Sure enough, the female student catches up to me. She confronts me as she tries to regain her breath.
You're gonna tell me what's going on!
Oh, come on, you two already fought in Chie's storyline. Fight someone new, gosh. So she wants an explanation. There's no harm in telling her what's going on since her friends are already caught up in this mess, but there's no need for them to learn details about it. They just return to the real world. They can get out while keeping relatively normal lives.
What good would that do you?
I mean, they're in the damn TV. There's no more relatively normal.
What?
I'm here on a certain mission. You could even call it a duty.
Because, I mean, if you think about it, this is the second TV incident, lore-wise, in, like, under a year in Inaba. Like, shit, they're going to be doing this for the rest of their damn lives.
My resolution is nothing like yours, based on curiosity.
A duty?
I hit the invisible wall.
Ridiculous Grand Prix is still going on.
What? Wait, you mean...
The girl hurriedly reaches around the space behind her. As I expected, her hand hits an invisible wall as well. That wall didn't exist when I first passed through that area.
We're trapped. So, like, do we...
That's what you get for coming after me so recklessly. The rule that one opponent must be defeated is still in effect.
She may be a girl and a student, but I don't intend to go easy on anyone, as long as I have a mission to complete. I unleashed the aura that instantly silenced so-called tough guys all around the world. I was hoping that she would quietly back down before I had to go this far. But even though my aura dampened the girl's resolve a bit, she didn't even take a step back.
Alright, I accept.
Yeah, get him.
Huh. Why are you willing to go to such lengths to catch up to Labrys?
I don't know why. I just know that she was in pain. I don't know if my reasons are better or worse than yours, but I can't turn my back on her.
The foolish words of a child. But there's a fire in her eyes that makes up for her lack of reason. I gotta say, I prefer that far more than wasting time with needless chatter. She's definitely piqued my interest a bit.
Alright. To answer your question, what you saw was the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon Labrys. She was given a heart so she could use a persona.
A weapon? Then she really is a robot. But she's so cute. And she even sounds like a normal girl.
She has a perplexed look on her face. Even though she's already seen those mechanical arms and legs, it must be hard to believe that a robot could be that lifelike.
So that's what her lost memories were about. And since she has a heart, she has a shadow too.
She has a shadow. Do you mean the thing where there's two of her?
The girl does her best to explain the structure of the TV world to me. The world inside the TV apparently mirrors the feelings of those who enter it, and its appearance changes accordingly. She tells me that this fake school was most likely created from Miss President's, Labrys' psyche. She also explains the repressed inner thoughts within oneself separate inside the TV world to become a shadow, and that those shadows try and kill their originators and replace them.
I get it now. The mastermind behind all this isn't Labrys, but her shadow.
I think that's it anyway. But I wonder what's with this tournament. What could she have wished for to make this happen?
I have some suspicions about that. Labrys may have been forced to do some inhumane things while she was in development. Her original circumstances may be related to the setup of this Grand Prix.
The girl goes pale upon hearing my words. Such a tale would be unimaginable for those living ordinary lives.
This tournament is a reenactment of what Labrys went through in her past?
Even Mitsuru doesn't know that for sure. If there's anyone who can claim to, it would be Labrys herself.
That's all I can tell you. If you still want to search for her, you'll have to defeat me to move on. What'll it be?
I...
The girl holds her tongue for a moment, but it isn't because of fear or hesitation. I could tell from the look in her eyes, she's made up her mind.
If Labrys wished to make us go through what she went through, that means she wanted to be understood. She wanted someone to save her.
It is kind of weird this is just like basically a repeat of Chie's version, which they haven't really done for the other characters, right? Like, they would usually just fight someone different in their storyline than where they fought them in the other character storyline, right?
That's just your guess, though.
But if it's possible I'm right, then I can't abandon her. That's
I mean,
why
it is kind of interesting
saved her.
seeing it from
Her heart
Akihiko's
is
perspective,
worth fighting for.
but also at the same time, I think it would have been a bit more interesting to have him just fight someone different and have like different, dialogue and everything. Save, huh? Her eyes tell me that she completely believes what she's saying.
What's your name? Mine's Akihiko Sanada.
I'm Chie Satonaka, a third year at Yasogami High.
I like the fire in your eyes. Then let's fight and see whose passion comes out on top.
It is weird that she declares what school year she's in, though. Akihiko, what is it that you say you do here, buddy? All I remember is you had like really low range or something. Oh god. Oh god, now I'm in the corner. No damage has been taken? Like seriously, no damage has been done? Okay, never mind, I'm dead. Hey, Akihiko, have you thought about doing any damage, buddy? Like, hey, my dude. It's been like 4 days, alright? I've only recorded, this is like my second video recorded in like a week and a half. It's haven't been, I really haven't been recording much at all in like the last week or so. And Cold Steel is still, main priority. Oh god.
up.
Like, what is that supposed to do, my dude? Like, you just like summon him and then he like fucking gravities or something and it doesn't do anything? Like, I mean, you just don't do any dang damage, my dude. Alrighty.
Looks like I win.
God damn it, this sucks. I lost. Oh well.
Yeah, she lost, totally. She's smiling brightly.
Chie, you don't get to go search for Labrys like you wanted and you're laughing?
Well, I figured either way you'd save her. Labrys, I mean.
Can't resist cracking a little smile at Chie's words. She seems naive, and she saw right through me. Guess she's sharper than she looks. One of my mission priorities was to limit collateral damage. To achieve that, I thought that destroying Labrys might be my only option. But now that plan has been scuttled. Current plan is to save Labrys and protect her. If I'm able to succeed at that, all danger to the surrounding area will be prevented. I'll commit myself to this plan from now on.
Can I ask you to give her a message? Please tell her I said I was sorry for saying such cruel things and doubting her. Let her know I really want to talk with her when this is all over. Anyway, just tell her I apologized.
Yeah, I'll let her know.
Chie's words are clumsy as ever, but what she lacks in speaking ability and vocabulary, she makes up for with emotion.
Thank you, Chie.
A little presumptuous, you've talked to her twice, you're already judging her character like that?
Huh?
On my way here, I was told that my strength was fake. That I was just immersing myself in training to escape my fear of losing others. That I was just sticking my head in the sand. And that was true. The reason I'm so hard on myself is because I'm scared. That might be a weakness of mine. But watching you made me realize it's okay to be like that. No, I don't want to lose anyone again. Ever. But that's how I can become stronger. Sheer raw strength is pointless. Getting the ability to see your deepest wishes through is true strength.
That's a little abstract. But I guess it's a compliment, though I still feel a little embarrassed about it.
Can't help but smile as well. After vowing to save Labrys, I leave Chie and attempt to make good on my promises. I like that exchange, that's really good.
Wait here for me. I'll bring Labrys back no matter what.
As I run, the things that happened during my recent training and the things happening in this world start to remind me of each other. An old acquaintance's face flashes into my mind. Someone who took good care of me, someone I haven't seen in a while. Kurosawa-san. I'd heard that he'd been promoted to detective, but I haven't been able to personally congratulate him for that yet. Oh, you just barely missed him. There's another place that I need to go visit.
Once this is all over, I should go see him too.
After being forced to travel a circuitous path, I was eventually led back to the very room I was in a few minutes ago, the announcing room. I push the door ajar and find Labrys inside, but is she the real one or the shadow? If only there was some way to tell. When Labrys sees me, she seems genuinely frightened.
You again? You came all this way after me?
Her reaction and the color of her eyes, this didn't match any of the characteristics Chie told me shadows would possess. It seems this was truly the real one. Looks like she was still safe. Before she denies her shadow, I must take her into custody at once.
Come with me. I won't let you get hurt.
I take a step forward and hold out my hand. But Labrys backs away, terrified, and keeps her distance.
I'm never going back there. I never want to get put through that again. I'm gonna run away. Just you watch me.
And where will you go? Is that how you're gonna solve everything? You won't even listen, huh? Fine. I didn't think anything I said would be enough to earn your trust. So come at me with everything you've got. I'll accept you for who you are.
After he punches you in the face 85 times? The shadow will try and replace its originator. If I lose Labras, I won't be able to fulfill my duty. My strength enough to grant my wish? Something told me that the results of my training were about to get their first real test. Oh, what the fuck, man? She's made of metal. My fists, they hurt.
Finally.
Oh god, what do you do again, buddy?
You're up.
Yeah, get a globed. Oh my god, you do fucking nothing.
Give it up. Good night. Right now.
Oh god, I'm dead. Oh god.
Do it. Uppercut.
Okay. Apparently I just don't know what to do with frickin' Akihiko, man.
Finally.
It's like, what's your... Okay. We just need to stop doing the upward one. Like, I'm not meaning to do the upper. There we go. That did nothing? Oh, you got like little electric hands now.
Uppercut. Right now.
Oh, oh.
Here we go.
I don't really know what went differently that time. I don't know, we got those electric hands for a little bit. That was cool.
Why won't
I'm really
anyone
bad at the half
understand?
circles. Oh, whoops. She's finally stopped moving. But Lamris's expression tells me that she is not all there right now. I wonder if she can get through to her, or I wonder if I can get through to her. Just as I'm about to speak. I only sense the wind for a moment. An undetected ambush from behind, a giant axe spun at such high speed that it looks like a circular blade to the naked eye. No matter what part of that axe hits my head, it'll decapitate me for sure. Better not let it hit me then. Wow, tactical genius, Akihiko.
Oh, that's a pretty dangerous looking electric fan you've got there.
The shadow glowers at me with an expression of pure hatred. The murderous intent she shows is like any of the petty thugs I faced, howling with rage as they try and land a punch. I'm in her head now. Looks like the real showdown's finally arrived. Having squandered her chance at an ambush, the shadow angrily prepares her next move. Labras also sees the shadow and lets out a shocked yelp.
Please stop! This ain't what I wanted!
Hey, calm down. This is your shadow. It's you, isn't it?
Shadows form from the repressed parts of yourself. That's what Chie told me. But even after hearing the truth, Labras continues to shake her head and deny it.
What good will accepting it? If I accept it, then I'm just...
That's right. There's no way he'd understand. The Kirijo group created you as a tool. Of course, that's the only way they can think of you.
My words will not reach Labras while she's like this. The Shadow's cool words have a tight grip on her heart. It isn't easy to support someone whose weakness has filled them with doubts and taken over their heart. I decide to listen to what the Shadow has to say. This way I can understand the weakness that Labras is harboring. I mean, I kind of actually like that. He'd just be like, yeah, okay, whatever, I'll just let it happen.
Not that you're any better. You didn't hesitate at all to attack him.
Or at least recognizing that he can't really stop it anyway.
It just shows your true colors. You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school having. You want to see close friends. You want to make.
That ain't true.
But it was no use. It's all right though. You don't have
Okay,
to
most of
worry
this is
about
the
it
same.
anymore. I'll take care of everything from here.
That one may be
I'll
different.
destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did.
Stop it! That's all a lie. You're not me.
The shadow displays a satisfied smirk. He's waiting for the words of denial. It would be easier to stop Labrys from saying those words, but it would be meaningless for me to do so. I keep my gaze on Labrys as she speaks the words of denial with finality.
You can't be me!
Yes, that's right. I'm not you. I'm myself.
And now I'm a big bull, rawr!
I'm finally free. I won't let you or anyone else get in my way.
I stand before the shadow, who is laughing insanely and surging with newfound power. Her power is actually quite impressive, but I know there's no need for me to fear it. This is where the real battle begins.
You really think I'm gonna make it that easy?
The shadow contorts her face. Those are the same words that the shadow threw at me before, after all.
What's that? You want to be destroyed that badly? Then I'll save her for later and crush you now.
I swore I'd protect Labrys. And I'm not gonna lose what I'm protecting ever again. Now, come get me!
Shut up, Kirito dog.
Okay.
Finally. Do it.
Oh god, we missed. Oh god, there's a big bull. Oh god.
I'm not giving up. Too slow.
Oh, that's it. You're probably not dead. Okay, you're dead. For why am I so bad with Akihiko? It's like he doesn't do anything.
Finally. Fight right now.
You're up.
Oh god. It doesn't. There we go. You did something. I really don't want to win differently that time. Sometimes the you know, it just like takes mercy and yeah, doesn't do anything. After silence in the shadow, I stand before Labrys, but she casts her eyes down sadly.
What's with that face? Stand up and look at me. I have a message for you from Chie.
Huh?
She wanted to apologize for doubting you and hurting your feelings. She was really sorry about what she said. She wanted to tell you herself, too. She was so determined to save your heart that she threw everything she had at me.
Chie-san said that?
Also, Mitsuru, the girl in charge of the Kirijo group, learned what happened to you and was mortified to hear of it. Do you still think no one understands? That your pain is unique to you?
I never thought of things like that. I never imagined anyone understood me. But that's...
I'm a machine, though. I'm not human. Labrys mutters and casts her eyes down again.
I don't know anymore. What am I supposed to believe?
You're human, so you must have the answer. Labrys gazes up to me expectantly. It's true that I have something to believe in. But I don't just have something to believe in simply because I'm human. Plenty of people walk the earth with nothing to believe. I had to find it and grab hold of it myself. Indeed, I found it only after facing down my own weakness.
I don't know much about how you suffered in the past, or how many times your heart was broken. But don't give up. Believe in yourself and keep standing up to the world. No matter how many times you fail, some things you have to grasp for yourself.
Labrys looks up. This time she finally looks me in the eye.
Myself?
That's right. If there's something you really want, fight for it. You'll never get it by running away. What's your strongest desire?
I...
Labrys falls silent. I don't prod her for an answer. You can't rush this. This is something one must find by facing down themselves, searching their heart for the answer, and making it take form on their own. I can't help her find the way. If she doesn't find it on her own, it'll be meaningless. Labrys places her hand to her chest. She then closes her eyes and loses herself in deep thought. Eventually, she opens her eyes again and looks at me.
I want people to understand how I feel.
Then there's someone you need to tell that to. And that's yourself over there.
When I point over at the shadow that's fallen silent, Labrys inhales sharply. Labrys' shadow is a part of herself that she just denied. But because she denied that part, she must also realize that there's a question she needs to answer. Why did I deny myself? Sure, Labrys has found the answer already.
I get it. That's what you've been saying this whole time. In your own way. Yeah. I understand now.
Yeah, in their own way, the murdering way. And to making this momentous realization, Labrys stands up to her own will and faces her shadow. Awful part of herself that she denied. We might actually watch that for the Igus version,
this is
if they
the
bring out
other
that cutscene again, just because it'll be like the last time it probably shows up.
It's not easy accepting yourself. But you managed to get past that.
But for now, we're gonna skip it.
Congratulations.
Partially because I need this video. I mean, I shouldn't say I need it to be done as soon as possible, but I was lazy last week and didn't record enough videos, so this video is being recorded a few hours before it'll be uploaded.
Thanks.
Labrys' reply is slightly embarrassed, yet proud. It's the exact combination of emotions I was hoping to
We should
see.
get going. You have some things you want to tell Chie too, right?
As we leave the announcement room, Mitsuru contacts me. Once the shadow disappeared, all of the interference it was creating went with it. The jamming, the invisible walls, all gone. I began escorting Labrys back to the real world. I have liked a lot of Akihiko's like inner monologues in his story though. I follow Mitsuru's directions and reach the specified location. A number of people have already gathered. I noticed Teddy, Kanji, Chie, and others I'd seen in the P1 commercial as well.
Oh, phew! You're okay, Miss President. Or should I call you Labrys?
Chie-san.
In contrast to Chie's enthusiasm, Labrys looks towards me as if she's unsure how to feel about everything. Before I can nudge Labrys over towards Chie, Chie rushes over and takes Labrys' hand. She smiles brightly after she confirms that Labrys is alright. Labrys cannot resist the infectious air of happiness and breaks into a smile of her own.
Hello, sorry, who are you?
I'm liking that look you've got going on. It's like you just single-handedly saved the world from an evil army.
Yosuke, don't be so rude!
I mean, I didn't think that was rude. Chie turns towards me and bows energetically.
Akihiko-san, Thank you for saving Lapras.
No need to thank me. I just delivered the message you left me with.
Don't you have some people you want to introduce Lapras to? After being prompted, Chie dashes off, tugging Lapras by her hand towards her friends. The people waiting to greet them are everyday students, but none of them seem to be all that concerned by the fact that Lapras is an android. In fact, it seems like they're welcoming her into their group with big smiles. Looks like they're a pretty open-minded bunch. As I'm watching them, I'm joined by some familiar faces.
Are you alright, Akihiko?
My fist hurt like hell, man. I just got punched in the dang metal. I raised my hand as a response to her. That's enough for Mitsuru to understand the situation and smile. Aiga stands next to me and gazes at the group of people gathered around Chie and Lapras.
It seems my sister has also forged a bond.
That takes you back, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Though I am a machine, I understand what it means for people's hearts to come together. I would definitely like for my sister to learn that as well.
The battle that took place 3 years ago marked a major turning point not just in my life, but for Aigus and the others that fought alongside me as well. Lapras has just reached that same turning point. Watching this unfold for someone else feels nostalgic and heartwarming at the same time. Mitsuru, however, is standing unmoved. She furrows her brow and is sporting a look I know all too well. Sheesh, what's troubling her now of all times? I guess noticed the serious look on Mitsuru's face and speaks to her in a hushed tone.
Are you thinking of sealing my sister away again?
Don't tell me you're going ahead with that. I know you're in a delicate position, but I have serious issues with this.
Yeah, plus Aigus is a Gatling cannon.
No, you misunderstand. I realize full well the situation here. That's not what I was thinking about. What's bothering me is that the true culprit in this case never did show their face.
What? Didn't Lapras say she escaped here on her own?
That's what I thought most likely at the time, but that scenario doesn't match what we've learned since then. How did Lapras learn about this world? Why did she call in these other Persona users?
You had some basic investigation done on Inaba, right? If she regained her consciousness a while ago, it's possible she infiltrated your network and found out about that stuff.
That's not my only doubt. Labras's ability to cloud others' senses can only go as far as creating hallucinations. That's inconsistent with the ability to control people so thoroughly as to make them risk their lives in a hijacking. There's too much that doesn't add up.
That does seem suspicious.
Mitsuru is right. There are too many unexplained circumstances here. But why stand around worrying about it? All the answers we need are a few simple questions away. I call it to Lapras.
Lapras, how did you escape all the way here?
Huh? I was inside a chamber and...
Lapras tries to continue, but her body immediately goes completely rigid. That's not good. Lapras looks like she's standing completely devoid of thought, but I know better.
Back!
I shout out a warning to everyone in the area. Lapras immediately reaches for the large axe on her back and brandishes it.
What a pain.
I have to protect Chie and the other civilians. I immediately take a step forward to engage the still expressionless Lapras. This is a different situation than our earlier battle. Since Lapras can now use her persona, this is going to be a much more difficult fight. If we join forces to attack her, this would be a simple matter. However, Labras's body has already taken a lot of damage from all the battles she's been in. There's no way of knowing if she'd survive a combined assault from us. Doubt and hesitation swirl around my mind and cloud my thoughts. I mean, I do like they explain why everyone else is just going to stand around. At least they offer an explanation. Now, there's definitely still an argument that it shouldn't be Akihiko since he's done the most fighting in this storyline, but I just must make a decision and follow it with no regrets. That's when Mitsuru's sharp voice pierces the air.
Akihiko, buy me some time.
Looks like she has some kind of plan up her sleeve. Then my course of action has been decided.
Got it.
I tightly ball my hand into a fist and extend it towards my opponent. I reiterate my vow.
I will protect you no matter what.
Even if it involves punching you in the face 80,000 times. I do definitely think the first Labrys fight before you fight the Shadow, like, does not need to be, like, in any of the storylines.
Final.
Especially because they always make you fight Labrys again. Oh. You just don't do any damage, my dude. Okay, you're dusted. Thank you. Maybe he doesn't do damage because he's supposed to like do the lightning fist thing. Maybe that's it.
Looks like I managed to keep her intact.
But she still seems to be under the control of someone else. We have to strike down the one controlling her? But where could they be controlling Labrys from? Just as I prepare to check the surrounding area for any outside presence, a voice echoes from somewhere.
You resorted to your fists in the end after all. That's why people say your strength is fake.
There's a familiar voice that I can't quite place. Darkness manifests from out of nowhere and coalesces into the form of a person.
What is that?
It's another Akihiko-san? Whoa! Is that Akihiko-san's shadow?
The darkness dissipates, and what was left standing there was me. Just like Labrys' shadow from before, he looks exactly like me. The only difference is in the eyes. While the others are stirring, he coldly declares,
You go on and on about resolve and whatnot. What have you been doing these past few years? Just training yourself to fight better, that's all. You haven't grown at all as a person. You're still running from your fear of losing people, just like before. So you are watching us. Looks like the mastermind of this thing has a lot of time to kill.
Huh? Mastermind?
He's taken aback by my taunt, but continues on.
What are you talking about? I came from the sea of your soul. Enough. Do you think you rattle me with that tired old theme?
The Shadow, now the Mastermind, arrogantly tries to rile me up, but his taunts are powerless against me. I'm not taking the bait. No anger, not even surprise. There's nothing rising within me. My heart was completely placid.
So you won't admit it. Then, rise again, my puppet. Dance until you shatter.
The enemy orders Labrys to stand. As if a puppet on strings, Labrys responds to the Shadow's command.
Looks like you've shown your stripes already. That power proves you're not my shadow. So what? You still have no choice but to suffer. Unless you destroy this thing, it will keep rising up and attacking you all. What will you do?
I glance over at Mitsuru. He gives me a slight nod, and I laugh.
Sad to say, but this show is over.
What?
It means we won't fall for the same trick again. Yamagishi, now!
Just as Mitsuru's voice sounds, the ominous presence lurking within Labrys was repelled. Turns out the person who Mitsuru contacted before entering the TV world was Fuka. I see, her persona abilities could disrupt the control on Labrys without having her into this world.
Are you all okay? Fuka-san?
Fuka Yamagishi, she's a friend of ours who helped us greatly in the battle 3 years ago. She has an analytical persona, and she herself is a whiz at digging up useful information. The Asagami High School students don't know anything about Fuka, and are looking around in surprise.
Is this like Rise-chan's persona? Wait, where is she?
This feeling. What the? That voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in the real world? That's amazing.
That's not your shadow, Akihiko-senpai. It's just a fake mimicking your appearance.
Very impressive to guess correctly from such a long distance away.
You must be the one behind all this. You stole Labris and threw her into a TV. You were after Persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labris's memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers.
Why did you go after these students? What are you up to? Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
But like how? How you gonna make them do what you want?
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity, it can betray you and return to darkness. Old wounds that you thought you had overcome opened once again. You almost let go of your hearts, your personas.
I do like that aspect though, that's cool.
This one's desire to make people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Plan?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
Why would you do such a thing?
All the loose ends are finally getting tied up. I glare at the enemy as he smugly reveals his grand scheme.
That's enough. I see now that there's no room for any more excuses.
Pull up my evoker. I can perform a summoning without this now, but I still couldn't just let it go. Oh, is that what's on your sidearm, like your little holster thing? It serves as a constant reminder of those days fighting as a part of C's. It's so I don't forget the joy, the sorrow, and the losses from those days. I point the muzzle to my head just like I used to. Everyone thinks I'm an edgelord, and they start laughing at me though, and it's like really kind of kills the moment. The feeling of cold metal, the easy trigger pull.
You said before that I couldn't cast aside my fears.
Back then, I felt that I didn't care if I lived or if I died. I just wanted all the power I could manage. Whether my disregard for my own life was because I secretly wanted someone to punish me, or because I wanted someone stronger than I to forgive me and allow me to live. In either case, my resolution is no longer the same.
I'll tell you something. People who have no fears end up dying early or throwing their lives away. My determination coexists with my fears. I know that death and loss are always close by.
I squeezed the trigger of my evoker. A nostalgic sensation. I was just a kid 3 years ago, so when I laid my life on the line. But now though, I can't allow myself to die. In my heart, I know that I cannot lose this fight. I've accumulated all this power to protect others. I'm risking my life in order to stay alive and to keep my friends safe. That's my current determination.
You still say you're my shadow?
The shadow's just another form of one's persona then.
My determination would never leave my side.
I do like to think the Persona 4 crew just be like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? But that's a cool sequence. Overall, I am liking Akihiko's like little climax here. Definitely more than Mitsuru's. Not that I dislike Mitsuru's, but I feel like there's been more of like insight into like his. There's been more like inner monologue. Oh god, I thought I was the blue one. Oh god, is that allowed? You can do that? Oh god, I'm not meaning to do that. Nope. Yeah, I definitely got discombobulated there and thought we were the blue one for a second when they were on the left side. So why are the buttons not doing anything?
No wonder you managed to drive back a god once. I didn't think you'd resist this fiercely.
Thought that I'd done some serious damage to that thing, but it seems he has no intention of giving up his ridiculous charade. He nonchalantly carries on while still wearing my face.
This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes. I've confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
Good enough, my ass.
Who do you think you are? You're really pissing me off!
Mastermind contorts my face into an eerie smirk and
I
chuckles.
doubted there'd be any meaning in changing my appearance, but sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game. I will see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then. Wait!
There's no way I'm letting you get away. I immediately close the gap between myself and him, but with a final smirk, he disappears. All that remains is his laughter.
Yamagishi!
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Back to square one again.
Bullshit! Don't you ever come back again!
Still, what was it planning on using our persona powers for?
It
I
hasn't
don't know,
given
being
up,
evil
right?
or some shit.
We'll see it again.
Indeed, based on what it said, I have every reason to assume that it'll return. The enemy's objectives are still mostly unclear, and we don't even know who he is. We do have a lead, though. I look towards Mitsuru and Igus. Though I can't say this in front of the students, the fact that the mastermind knew about Labras is a big clue. We're most likely dealing with someone related to Karijo.
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Yeah, but like, whatever.
Of course, you should be aware that the enemy is out there. Akihiko only means that there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
I'll just leave the rest of the explanations to Mitsuru. He's much better at saying the right things in these situations. In the meantime, I glare at the empty space where the enemy was.
The battle will go on, huh?
After all the members of the Shadow Operatives safely returned from inside the TV, we decided to spend a day in Inaba doing follow-up stuff. We were just doing stuff. And leave quietly the next day.
I'm glad things went well. Oh, but first, it's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
You got like less than half the squad. As Fuka looks behind her to the back seat, Mitsuru and Aiga smile at each other. Even for those of us who fought that battle 3 years ago, journeying into a world inside a TV to retrieve a robot still sounds absurd. Still, we managed to accomplish our mission. We retrieved Labras, and we kept the incident as contained as possible. However, our plan to leave quietly like a covert ops unit was foiled by that group of students.
They were certainly a lively bunch to the very end.
Mitsuru seems to have thought the lapse in security wasn't enough to stain the overall success of the mission and smiles. I recall the smiling faces of those students as they came by to see us off from Inaba. I didn't think they'd all show up. They turned the quiet departure we'd planned into a big scene. Labras, who Mitsuru opted not to reseal, is still gazing out the rear window and waving to them. She's still waving.
Do you regret parting with them?
A little. But it's only a matter of time. I promised Chie and the rest that I'd definitely come back.
I want to see the Inaba group and say goodbye to them in person. Labras is the one who insisted on a formal goodbye. Not only that, she herself decided to leave them for a while and join the Shadow Operatives. Even if it was unlikely that she could go to school with them, there may have been some way for her to see her new friends more often instead of joining up with our secret group. But that wasn't what Labras wanted. There are things I must do in order to pursue the mastermind that dragged all of us into this incident. If I stay with the Shadow Operatives, I can accomplish those things. Those were her words. She has formed bonds, but rather than depending on them, she pushes forward. This must be why she's able to overcome a past filled with more grief than any ordinary students or persons. Her resolve is amazing. She's not a student yet, and Labras isn't the only one who gained a new determination in these lands either. In order to speak of my own resolve, I straightened myself and faced Mitsuru.
Mitsuru, may I talk to you?
What is it? It's unlike you to be so formal.
This won't be any time soon, but I'm thinking of leaving the Shadow Operatives eventually.
What?
Huh?
Fuka doesn't seem as hard hit as the other members, but even she's looking at me with confusion in her eyes. This is actually something I've been thinking about from the very beginning. These feelings have been smoldering inside me ever since I received my first mission, and I've finally found an avenue to direct those feelings. Mitsuru seems to realize that this is something I've given a lot of thought to, and responds in a businesslike manner.
May I ask why?
There's something I want to do now. I can't do it while I'm part of an unofficial group like this.
People who fear random acts of violence and crime, people down on their luck who have no one they can turn to. I want to be someone they can rely on. Akihiko wants to become Batman. There is one great power that protected me when I was faced with senseless acts of violence in the past, ones that caused me great loss. It was an ordinary police officer. Right now I'm forced to turn a blind eye to the plights of some people. As long as I have to carry out my obligations as a member of the Shadow Operatives, I won't be able to help them. I'm gonna have to forego protecting some of the smaller things in order to deal with the larger missions. This case helped me realize that I don't want to give up on those smaller things. I want to protect them.
I see. I think you would be well suited to it, Akihiko-san.
I mean, okay, yeah, you could become a police, but like, wouldn't it be cooler if you became Batman? Becoming a police officer to protect one city would be great too. I'm not against working my way up through the official channels to become a force for security. But greater powers are required to protect a larger area. And that power can't just come from my fists. There are greater intangible powers in society as well. It wouldn't be a bad idea to work my way into the upper echelon as a government official either. Then again, I don't know if I'm cut out for all that bureaucratic stuff. Mitsuru had been quietly taking in all my musings until she interrupted my train of thought with some surprising words.
Of all the things you were going to say, that's it?
What do you mean that's it? Even I know it's pretty ordinary, but...
Whether you man a police box or become a career officer, you should do it. And if you do, then I'll consider your circumstances, to an extent, whenever I need you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
For a moment, I couldn't understand what Mitsuru meant.
Wait, are you planning on making me belong to 2 departments at once? You wouldn't use the Kirijo name for that, would you?
Bite your tongue, I won't do anything. But even if I don't, it'll happen on its own. You underestimate the organization's need for you. Leaving that aside, if you're going to wish to become something like that, then there's something you need to do first.
You're right. I need to train more and...
Well, no, I think you had to, like, you know, go through the exam and everything.
No, I meant going back to college.
Mitsuru certainly adds, you should follow Yamagishi's example. That reminds me, I took a leave of absence from college to go on my journey. I didn't have a problem with my classes while I was still attending. But what about now?
Don't worry, Akihiko-san. I will calculate the units and time necessary for graduating and plan the most effective curriculum for you.
You will be taking 17 classes next semester.
I'll be counting on you, I guess. I've been thinking this for a while now, but Akihiko seems to need someone to manage him.
I'm honored.
Another trial for me to face.
Someone's in trouble.
Labras, can you help with my organic chemistry homework? Labras interjects with a joke at my expense and starts laughing. I guess Mitsuru and even Fuka warmly smile back at Labras. For a robot, Labras sure has great timing and a great smile. I give up and heave a deep sigh before leaning back into my seat. Labras quickly formed new bonds in Inaba. She will surely continue to form new bonds while she works within the Shadow Operatives. One's heart changes through encounters with others. It's always the same, whether your heart is covered with muscle or metal. Even if the culprit behind this incident were to appear again, he'd be no match for my new determination. The weather is great today. Today's cloudless sky is a perfect metaphor for my new resolve. Thinking about how fitting the situation is making makes me laugh to myself. After all this traveling, I finally feel like I've taken a step forward. But yeah, I really liked Akihiko's overall. I mean, it's kind of hard for me to really remember the start of them. So, like, I can really only fully judge, like, the cliffhanger portion. I'm trying to remember. What happened in... Because, like, I think I would say I liked Akihiko's more than Mitsuru's of, like, the Persona 3 crew. And we still have to do Igus where I can fully judge those three. And then I guess we can kind of do, like, a rough ranking of all of them. Well, we'd have to finish Elizabeth first as well. But so far, it's still, like, Labrys, like, head and shoulders above everyone else. And then I don't even know who would be second. Like, at all. Haven't really thought about it too much. But yeah, we'll go ahead and stop here, and next time we'll do Igus as we get ever so closer to the end of the character storylines. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.